I'll initiate our discovery of a new DIANNE work via Soulward Bound's evolving voice with completion of a statement that I forgot to finish in the preparation encounter that we had to this album, in fact, with After the Storm, the first piece of DIANNE's reappearance into the symphonic metal landscape, besides other efforts of what's been readily exercised, well, post departure from Xandria, and any developments from Ex Libris, or maybe other work in association that we will be exploring as part of our deep dive into our artist spotlight with DIANNE von Giersbergen's regard. And each entry we've had thus far, notably with Xandria and now DIANNE, I couldn't push those one out anymore. My intended step was to go into Ex Libris next, but I've been pining away for these two pieces, just to humor them in mutual company with all of you on a fresh interaction basis, which is the best way to enjoy music. And again, however you approach, I want this to be a welcome entrance for anyone, whether you happen to be familiarized to DIANNE von Giersbergen or not. I think you're going to have a fun time. If you like metal music, and certainly have a symphonic metal extreme like me, I think you're going to be quite impressed, and even more specifically, if you're into operatic intrusion within a symphonic tone, oh, she readily delivers on a spinto-soprano range, and of a prowess of a Dutch origin consideration to other adjacent credits that I revere in the metal space. Certainly symphonic metal, I think of, yes, specific focus and entirety, actually, of what I've welcomed so far, with maybe more adventures to come with other artist considerations. We consider a wide body here, notably in the European origin front, but I keep a wide lens on anybody, because talent is quite abroad, and in any type of extreme within metal, or even deviations from that. Phase 2 of where we're currently sitting catalogs a number of names where DIANNE has been holding out for some time, and to finally get to her. Via After the Storm, I've been waiting for so long, and it was just such a great fanfare entrance on symphonic metal power with her involvement. I said it as much with Xandria in the beginning, post her departure, and exploring those works fully, surveying Sacrificium, Fire and Ashes, the EP, and Theater of Dimensions in their entirety runs. Well, near entirety. It was a worth it avenue to consider again her exploration, because it truly was a golden highlight. Though again, I like any era of genre we've explored together, from Manuela Kraler era on to present day with Amber Voorhees. Each vocalist has been a great introduction to their own individual credits, but DIANNE, a real highlight and true asset to the group. That post their departure, which was it was understandable but definitely bittersweet, to see these next adventures quite reminiscent of her time there, of such a prominent emphasis and highlight on energy. I absolutely loved it. After the Storm, what a great entrance to lead us into our next chapter with Unleash the Siren. And this one I've really been looking forward to. Certainly on theme, what I found out about it yesterday, in fact. I knew it'd be just a great retreat, musically speaking, but a focus on PTSD, perhaps woven in, and in surveying the lyrics in advance, I can already see where the two paths intersect quite naturally between fantasy tone and a realistic version that I think will be quite a relatability spirit expressed with beautiful prominence on expression. I'm looking forward to highlighting this one of you. Our next adventure, again, in developments of Soulward Bound, of which is a 5-year journey of development with 2 numbers released per year in association. I can't wait for whatever the next 2 pieces are. And of course, to the credit of any artist to recognize here, open door policy for what we entertain next. And DIANNE? Oh, no exception at all. If we're going to start with Soulward Bound, we have to finish it through, right? And we're only into the second piece. Fresh interaction that I'm looking forward to taking. And certainly with DIANNE, you know, as I was saying on initiation to this, right, the statement I forgot to complete. Very much a philosophy for 2024. I cannot wait for our destinations within the new year. I'm still in the first week, just a couple days in, and already the work I've gotten done so far and what we will be enjoying in our time together. I cannot wait for any of the new adventures we're going to have in enjoying such a robust catalog of music and fresh interactions, learning all these new names and meeting all these new faces and enjoying the company of one another through mutual intersection of whether it be a metal love or an allowance for just good art exploration in a collaborative sense. I cannot wait for our journeys together. I've taken that philosophy that DIANNE readily expressed again in that clip it's making the rounds on YouTube from an Instagram stream. Let's just focus on happy things. That is my philosophy of 2024. It's what I should have had for 2023, and I did partly, but not to the degree I do now. Just certainly on the first couple of days into the year, we're in for quite an adventure, you and I together. I absolutely love your company here, and I hope you do too on your own enjoyment, surveying great artists wherever they might pop up. And DIANNE, real highlight name for me. Let's unlock the next chapter together in exploration and first interaction grounds with Unleash the Siren. More operatic power. I'm sure I have heard some of the samples in advance of this. I know this number is going to be adept already, but just even on suspicion, right, of a 5-minute piece, quite a robust look. We are in for something quite special, I think, together. Just based on that first song, our initiate encounter was quite great. Here's the follow-up, at present, with more on the way, whenever that is. Perfect rhythm on origin. Oh, the symphonic extreme too. It's just immediately intermixing. Dramatic field and depth. Even the teasers are just a little window. In context, it's even better. I'm already in love with it. Smooth. Perfect intermixing of lyrics and sentimentality of emotion thematically paired with the voice. This is such a good journey thematically. Perfect intermixing on choir and high reflection structure paired with the vocals. Epic finishes on each chorus. Seriously, the vocal drifts. Wow. I really like this characterization of trauma. That drift is amazing. Just the dominance of it. Piercing bell effects. What a good flow. Fantastic costuming, by the way. Wow. Again, the fantasy appearance of a PTSD type sensation. It's really impressive. Characterization. Paired of song. Perfect concept. There's those twinge cues again. This one really takes its time. I like this break. Pace mix match, very welcome. So many shades with this number one appreciation. Epic crescendos too. Fantastically imagined. Wow. I love the acceleration on key, by the way. It's perfect for her. You know I love atmosphere in symphonic metal and just an orchestral onslaught. Oh, I love the drama of this one. It's perfect. It's perfect. Woo! In my earliest entrances and welcoming to many operatic talents and forces within a symphonic metal reach. And again, her vocal capability has a wide palette of variation. Any extreme of the number mandated based on direction she hits readily. It's so precise, no mistakes. In whatever facet of appearance that she has with what I've experienced, or in preparation, I would just assume that to be the case. Even in what I've seen in regards to, let's say, for example, live performances, notably of, again, Zandria experiences, even there, perfect delivery in whatever is mandated on direction of a number. This piece, though, After the Storm, great entrance, equally dynamic, but a different tune, different vision, specialized. This one, I think a lot of it might be because of why it's not just the quality of a number on musical execution, I'll get to that, but lyrically speaking, fantastic characterization of PTSD and trauma through a shadow appearance. And I have seen many other groups in the metal space play around with that type of imagery. Not necessarily with a perfect fantasy costume, a skeleton mask. I love it. I've seen it maybe appear in other places with a rough approximation, but not with the particular classical edge and real fantasy isolation that this one embodies. I really like the costuming. Perfect. And by the way, I didn't credit it in the beginning, I've already did it After the Storm. Cinematic presentation brought to you by longtime favorite of mine in symphonic metal, one of my first approaches into the Dutch metal world and European metal more generally, Blackbriar. Same thing again. Competent visualizers, you get that from them. Same thing with DIANNE. What a beautiful aid. Again, visually, the characterization and journey of recovery through PTSD. Perfect. And if you know bits and pieces of DIANNE's stories, it's very applicable to her journey and relatable, I think, to any of us. Especially, I don't know, again, the way I'm quite enamored immediately because I'm in my own recovery journey myself and a variety of fronts. I've detailed, different semblances of that in the past. I've experienced plenty of trauma in my life to different degrees. This piece, again, I look for catharsis and resonance in music on practical theming, and the exploration here is beautiful. Darkness gently takes my hand, guides me toward desolate lands, gloats with whispering his command. Oh, so perfect. Again, you consider this symphonic metal normality on fantasy intrusion, on concept, and it's a perfect immersion. So sweet. Sweet company, beautiful blend, easily applicable. It just has such a reach, though. Unleash the Siren. The characterization of the Siren being what we hope for the, I guess, if you want to call it trauma recovery. To be at that goal point, to unleash your voice and your power. It's great. I love it. And the sentiment and emotional pull that the number has is only invigorated by such brilliant scoring. Again, atmospheric. And the different ranges of where the number hits, again, on extremes. That transition into the last chorus and the development of the key change. So warranted and beautiful direction of a number. Plus, well, I'll get to the vocal reach in a minute. That's its own thing. But the transformation, again, into that last chorus. The development with the... I don't know what language this is spoken in, but quite charming. Again, I love other cultural fields integrated naturally into a number, and with symphonic metal, you get that reach. Other languages, I mean, we've seen that before in different metal extremes. I'm thinking, for example, let's just say some light ones of the German variety, Feuerschwangs, or Within Temptation even did the same thing on their recent album, Bleed Out. That little intrusion, you love it when you see it. It's this little small element that's added in that gives a number an independent complexity. Though, again, I can't recognize any of the words. You will have on translation, again, of what I provided to you as a natural accommodation. I like to give you a full perspective if you wish it for it, if you want to read along with the storyline. And for this, it is valuable. God, I love it. And how long the number is allowed to sit. Again, the lingering energy with the shift tonally and the amplification naturally of each line, it continues to grow. That deluge section. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, I don't know for sure. Anyway, I'm just going off memory. The score develops beautifully with so many energies of notable symphonic metal strength. Even just on first introduction and development of the number, a great aid to DIANNE's transcendent voice. So powerful, and she has definitely unleashed her own siren. What we can do, oh man. You know, I've covered so many great artists here and many more upcoming, but DIANNE's becoming a quick favorite. I knew this chapter would, but just the advancement on voice, and again, her precise control. No room given to one mistake at all. She doesn't allow for it. She's way too perfect on vocal delivery. This, just absolutely masterful work. Truly. Again, I've humored many operatic extremes, notably again on first interaction basis within the European market, but DIANNE's power and force truly is just something else on that range. Man, and the decision, again, to go even more adventurous towards the end. And she demonstrated a readiness of this, again, on individuality. Again, I'm operating on familiarized exposure here with Zandria. I saw shades of that too. Independent characterization of her vocal aptitude readily permitted based on numbers direction. To see that same shade applied boastfully here. And for this to be, again, her solo project, this is the work that she wants to create. I have been doing some read-throughs into her background. I know that she has quite a history in regards to study and mastering her capabilities and her journey within musical execution. Her credits speak for themselves boastfully. If anybody's deserving of such a beautiful chapter to embark on in life, it is DIANNE. And I can't thank her enough for allowing us in her mutual graces of exploring her artistry. Each entry so far in Soulward Bound, and I cannot wait for any remaining pieces. This album is going to be such a special delivery. And as I credit to any artist, open door policy. I am looking forward to humoring more. Certainly on psychology of number. That's, again, immediately attractive on lyrics, paired very well with an incredibly invigorated score of such raw devotion. And the emotional connection you get with it, man, I love the number. I love it. I cannot wait for a repeat experience. I've been waiting to embark on the DIANNE adventure, and for these two pieces, we now have our doorway in. For future developments, whenever that is, I am ready and eagerly waiting for 2024. I can't wait for any future sessions we get together. What did you think of this piece? Again, I'm just in mad love with it, but music is very much a subjective experience, so feel free to share your own review down below, and your point of approach if you wish to with DIANNE. Fresh introduction? Longtime fan? What do you think? Advanced stuff, and I cannot state it with enough emphasis. I truly feel honored here to have an opportunity to recognize one of my favorite vocalists at this point from whatever I've gained in appreciation and experience. And it's still a small window that's evolving with more journeys to come. But this was a destination point that I knew we would immediately revere and was necessary for our journeys into symphonic metal. How perfect of a delivery with that piece. I loved After the Storm as a first entrance, and it's still its own greatness, but Unleash the Siren. Wow. And if this is evidence of the future, we are in for something really special within the symphonic metal world, considering Soulward Bound and DIANNE van Giersbergen. I cannot wait for next chapters, which will be best enjoyed in company, you and I together. I'm so looking forward to those opportunities. 2024 is going to be such a great year to any artist credits, but whatever's in the midst of DIANNE, I am ready and waiting for more. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.